Hello and welcome. It's me, Marls44. Welcome back to another Cardfight Vanguard. Cardfight yawning profile. No, deck profile. Sorry about the yawn. Anyways, today's deck profile we have the magician that always has a mask covering her face. Masked magician Harri. So yeah, with the release of GBT05, I'm gonna yawn again. Sorry. With the release of GBT05, we got a ton of Pale Moon support now. Pale Moon, you know, has its stride stuff, and I'm honestly really excited. I love Pale Moon, and it's an awesome deck. It's always really fun to play, and like abuse your soul and everything. So yeah, I'm quite excited. It's a really strong deck, of course. It also had support from its, trial deck. I think that's where Harri comes from. I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. Sorry. But trial deck came out like a month ago, monthish, and now we finally got the support we need to make a really good deck. So let's do this thing and jump at the deck profile. So our starter is Happiness Collector. So what she does is G-Break 1, you put her into your soul. When your other unit is placed on rearguard from your soul, you may pay the cost. If you draw a card, it's soul charge 1. So really, she's just kind of here for, doing what Pale Moon does to get a soul charge off. And just kind of get something that you need into your hand. So that's why that's all she does. And that's why you need her. She just gets something good you need into your hand and get something good you need into your soul. Hopefully it doesn't happen the other way around. Or hopefully it's not both triggers. Anyways, yeah, she's just really handy for that. I won't lie, I hope there's a little bit of a better starter, but she's pretty decent and does the job well. She does the job for how she needs to. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, she does the job well for the deck. So, anyways, we have 4 Masked Magician Harri. So, G-Break 2, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose up to 1 card from your soul, call it to rearguard, you get 3,000 until the end of the turn. So, pretty decent skill. It pretty handy, just get another attack off after she attacks, so you can get a good 4 attacks off at least. Maybe 5 with a certain grade 2. So it's pretty nice. Anyways, and our other skill is I think it's called. Don't quote me on this because I don't know what I don't know how to say this right. But Magia. Magia is just like what it's called because certain cards do things like they support for the cards that say Magia. So it doesn't really have its own effect. It's just there, kind of like wave. It's just there. Yeah. Anyways, Magia Counterblast 1. During your turn, when your G unit stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, soul charge 1. Choose up to 1 card from your soul. Call it to rearguard. It gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn. And at the end of the turn, put that unit called with this effect into your soul. So some of the cards in the deck do that. They will put the card back into your soul. Which is actually really handy sometimes, especially if you're fighting a deck that retires a lot. A lot of decks retire nowadays, especially the really strong ones, but there are some decks that retire more than others, and it's nice to just kind of keep your card and not have to, scour your deck to get another one into the soul or on your field so you can use it in the soul or... yeah, so that's pretty handy for saving some cards, and honestly, it's just a really good skill to just combo with another card that works in this deck really well, really well. Yeah, she's just awesome Vanguard. Anyways, backup Vanguard, we got Burstlaugh Dragon. What he does is G-Break 1. Soul Blast 1 at the beginning of your main phase. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 1 card from your soul, call it to rearguard. And at the end of the turn, put that unit call with this effect into your soul. And then his other skill is Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 1 grade 2 or less card from your soul and call it to rearguard. So he's not terrible. He's just kind of a back Vanguard. Most of the time, you do get your main Vanguards because the grade 1 stride enablers always help you get them if you don't have them. So a lot of the time you don't ride your back with Vanguard, but if you really have to, he's basically the best you can do. He does Harri's job a little worse, but he at least does it, so it works out nicely at least. Yeah. Anyways, on to grade 2s. We have 4 card dealer Jacqueline, our staple, a staple of the deck, because you know what she does? She's just like what all the other clients have now. She break 1, counterblast 1 when this unit attacks a Vanguard. If it's boosted, you pay the cost. If you do, soul charge 1, choose up to 1 grade 2 or less card from your soul, call it to rear guard. Yeah. Yeah. every client has this now. A card like, counterblast if it's boosted when it attacks the Vanguard. You pay the cost, blah, 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 something happens. Yeah, just obviously staple card, really, really strong, and, yeah, just awesome. Anyways, then we have 4, Darkside Princess. She's awesome for this deck. What she does is when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may have this unit get power plus 5,000 until end of the battle. And if you do, at the end of the battle, put it in your soul. Now, I know that sounds weird, but she's really nice because she can, swing for 21 with that extra 5 boost. Swings for 21, and then you have after that, she goes into your soul, so she's protected, and you can get her out next turn with Jacqueline or even Harri. Now, if Harri brings her out, she's already gonna have to go back to the soul, so just give her an extra 5. So that's 10k, and I mean Harri's counterblast when a unit stride skill, because the other one just brings her out for extra 3k. But yeah, it combos well with her. And the stride units do it too, where they would call some of the stride units at least, where they call cards to rear guard, and at the end of the turn they have to go back to the soul, so she can kind of just abuse that and give herself a free 5,000 because she's going back to the soul anyway. So she's just so good for the deck, so strong. Now the really abusable thing you can actually do with this card, if you have Jacqueline on one side, Harri as your Vanguard, and she's in the soul, you stride on top of Harri, counterblast, she comes out with an extra 5, right? So she's sitting pretty 14k with a booster that's 7k. Now, after that, she attacks. You get her to attack first, or the Vanguard, but don't make Jacqueline attack, because of Darkside Princess, she returns to the soul at the end of the battle. So you have Jacqueline bring her back out, and then you give her an extra 5 to swing for 14, so you could get multiple attacks off with this card too. You could abuse this card so much, and it's just crazy strong. There are probably other ways you can, and I haven't mentioned it, but that's all I'm going to mention right now. Anyways, moving on, we have 4 Flying Peryton. What he does is G-Break 1. When this unit is placed on rear guard, what's nice is Darkside Princess is in a G-Break. Woohoo! So you can abuse her, whatever. So yeah, when this card is placed on rear guard, soul charge 1, choose up to 1 card from your soul, call it to rear guard in the same column as the unit, and at the end of the turn, put that unit this effect in your soul. Now, what's really nice about this card is there's a grade 1 that when it's called from the soul, it gets +5, and it's 7k, so it's a 12k booster. So what's really, really good about this card is just that it, can get you cards from the soul if you need to, maybe switch around something or do something, anything. If there's anything you really need in the soul, to just bring it out, even a grade 2, and then I don't know what you would do with that, but normally at least 90% of the time I use it to call it a grade 1 that gives itself 5,000, so it could swing for like it'll be swinging for 21, and then it goes back to the soul. But then if you intercept with this card and call another next turn, you could do it again, and of course it gets you some soul charges too, so it's just really strong combo as well in the separate column, not with Darkside Princess with the back rows, but yeah, such a strong card. Anyways, on to our grade 1s, we have 4 Darkside Mirror Master, the unflipping perfect guard. The damage unflipper P guard, and then we have 4 Masquerade Bunny, searches for Harri, of course, and also she's a Stride Enabler, so 4 of her. And then we have 3 Intensely Sweet Clown. What he does is G-Break 1. When it's placed on rearguard from your soul, it gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn. So he's the guy I was talking about. Really strong. 12k beater 12k booster, not beater, from the soul. And then we have 2 Purple Trapezists. You only use her behind your Vanguard. She's just mainly for, you know, switching around stuff. If you really need to put a card in soul, and there's another card, you know, you might need in soul, but you don't need as much. Say for example, if the Intensely Sweet Clown is on your rearguard and Darkside Princess is in your soul, you call Purple Trapezist and switch the 2. So then Darkside can be on your field and, you know, abuse its power, go back into the soul and abuse the coming out and in from the soul. And then, you know, you could do the same with Intensely Sweet Clown. But yeah, she's just to help you set up a little bit, because you always need something like this for Pale Moon. Because setting up with the soul is key for this deck. So 2 of her, very important. And then onto our triggers, we have 4 Darkside Swordmaster. You put her into your soul when your Vanguard attacks. If you've grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Harri in its card name, you pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. Choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn. So yeah, pretty strong. And then we have 4 Poison Juggler, so 8 crit. And 4 Kitten Juggler, 4 draw. And then 4 Tender Breeder, 4 heal. So standard trigger lineup, 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal. And then onto our Stride units, we have 4 Jester Demonic Dragon, Lunatec Dragon. What he does is choose a face down card named this card. Turn it face up. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, until end of turn, hit auto Vanguard. When this unit is placed on rearguard from the soul, that unit gets power plus 2,000 until end of turn, and continuous. It has a G-Break 3. During your turn, this unit gets crit plus 1. So if you're a G-Break 3, you know, you can give it plus 1. So yeah, you basically just stride him second, and you'll get the crit plus 1. And also, you could just he could power up really quickly with the plus 2 whenever cards are called from your soul, which is nice. Again, as I said, using the Darkside Princess with Harri can give this thing a good 4k. So that's kind of nice, especially because it'll probably be at like 31 then, right? It depending, but maybe a little more than that actually. I don't know. Actually, no. If Purple Trapezist boosts, because normally 100% of the time you place Purple Trapezist behind your Vanguard because there's nothing it can really support well. Because everything else will make it hit 15. So if you do that, it'll be like 35-ish. No, that's wrong. Not 35. 36k. So that's pretty nice with the 2 that's including the plus 4k of you know, the Darkside Princess combo that I talked about with his skill. So that's pretty scary. Extra crit as well, if you can. Yeah, pretty good card. And then we have 2 Dragon Masquerade Harri. So what he does is G-Break 3, Counterblast 2, and choose one of your rear guards, put in your soul. Once you attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 3 cards from your soul, call them to a separate rear guard. Then, if you have 5 or more rear guards, your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards, puts it into his or her soul. At the end of the turn, put the unit's call with this effect in your soul. So he's pretty good. You only run 2 because he's quite a bit of a hefty cost with Counterblast 2, because now everything's like Counterblast 1 and everything, but it's multiple Counterblasts of 1, so he's quite a hefty cost. So you just need 2, no more than that. And then we have 1 Ardor Dragon Master Amanda. Which he does is when this unit attack hits Vanguard, you soul charge 1, choose a card from your soul, call it to rear guard, gets power plus 2,000 until end of turn, and at the end of that turn, put the unit called with this effect in your soul. Again, you can abuse Darkside Princess with her to make Darkside swings for 16 by herself. And then finally, we have our last Stride unit, 1 Snow Element Blizza. Yeah, we play one of him because there's nothing else to play, of course. and he's just a good finisher. The deck's really strong, but I did notice the stride units could be a little better, but that might make the deck too broken, so let's just, yeah. Anyways, yeah, one Blizza, because he's just really good. Anyways, that's about it for this deck profile, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Deck list will be in the description below, as always. And that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want to see more videos from me, on the left, there are Let's Play videos, so you can go and check those out. And if you guys aren't up for that, on the right, there are Cardfight Vanguard videos, so you can go and check that out. And if you're still not up for those, I have Super Smash Bros., Pokemon, and a Versus series on my channel, so you can go to my channel and check that out. Also, down below is my review channel, where I do reviews, countdowns, game chats, which is like a podcast, and more. And don't forget to check out my Twitter, Facebook, and Skype, all listed at the top there. That is all. Hope you guys enjoy.